Hold on there, matey. We're almost through the storm.
Ahoy there, matey, to you. I'm Jeff Corwin, and this is Mr. Chi. And perhaps you're wondering, where in the heck are we in this great world of ours? Well, here's a clue. African parrot, pristine coastline. If you've guessed the coast of Africa, you're wrong. Now, I don't know where you are, but friends, I'm at home.
And home for me is a small island off the coast of New England. Here, surrounded by a lot of friendly creatures in the safety of my own home, I'd like to share with you a collection of my most extreme encounters from around the world.
You should be me on South Beach.
You can hear me, I'm a herpetologist.
You keep your distance.
We tried! When it feels threatened, he'll coil up. Ow! A toad. I can't tell you how good it feels to be home. Even when I'm here, I'm still surrounded by all sorts of creatures, some of which I'm going to introduce to you during this very special show. A show which is going to look at some of the wildlife encounters we've had in this experience. The biggest, the baddest, the strangest animals we've seen in the show I like to call the Extreme Encounters.
First up, the baddest. On the island of Komodo, I discovered that when it comes to lizards, size does matter. And I wasn't looking for a friendly greeting, seeing as how they're called dragons.
Shh. Listen. Hear that? Nothing. But there's more than just nothing here. This is the place where we're gonna find Komodo dragons. The problem is they can be anywhere. They can be up in the hills and forested areas. You can even find them moving on the beach. But we are definitely in Komodo country. Something very big happening over here. A lot of chaos. This is a perfect example of how powerful these creatures are. We can simplify them as reptiles, but in the end, they're carnivores, they're predators. And they illustrate that in what they're doing right now, showing us how they group feed. These guys have got a goat. It appears to be a goat, and it's shredded. Now, there's a hierarchy here. The strongest individual Komodo dragon has first access to the kill, and it basically trickles on down to the smallest one. And they are just pulling it apart. An animal that might have weighed 100 pounds plus will be devoured within minutes.
What these pictures can't convey is the sound. Bone crunching, flesh tearing, and the smell. It felt very dangerous to be this close to them.
It looks like they're kind of sliding that carcass this way, so
I'm out of here. Komodo is an extreme place. Bali, on the other hand, is an idyllic paradise, green and tropical and rich in culture, and home to a very spooky serpent. Take a look. I trekked up into the mountains with a local snake guide named Astori. And even though we were looking for a snake that had a reputation of being aggressive, nobody could have anticipated just how dangerous this afternoon stroll would be.
there it is. I love cobras. My most favorite is the king cobra. We've tried!
Hey, awesome. Sorry. I like that.
We've trekked all the way.
Now that was a scary moment when that cobra held his ground and showed me who was boss.
And Astori, thank you for just filling my pants. Yeah. I'm trying to assess the situation. Very venomous animal. I really want to catch this creature to show it to you, but I'm a little nervous. Are you nervous? He's not nervous. Look at this guy.
Okay, so I was a lot nervous, and the treacherous footing on this slippery rock didn't help.
He's now in his defensive posture. You see, he's got that beautiful hood extended. He's looking right at me eye to eye. This is a huge, huge king cobra, absolutely magnificent. They call this creature the king of the serpents because not only is he brave, not only will he stand his ground, he won't flee like many other snakes, but his diet consists of snake. He is a snake eater. A story tells me that you're supposed to just stand there, let him rise up to you, and then sweep and grab him by the back of the head. That I don't know if I got enough gumption to do that. I tell you what, a story, can you show me how you freehand capture a king cobra? Okay, you show me.
Listen, I never would have imagined anyone doing something like this, but seeing is believing.
Astoria, do you have insurance?
Now get ready because this is when it really gets crazy. Astoria is standing on this whip rock and he grabs the cobra by the tail so it won't slide down the stream. And look at this. The snake, well, it has its mouth open wide just before Astoria secures him. Absolutely incredible.
And that's how you do it, huh? Holy cow. Wow.
Talk about extreme. This whole encounter was an in-your-face reminder of just how careful you have to be.
Wow. Isn't he beautiful? A regal, handsome snake. Look at that face. I just want to secure him like this. Not too loose, not too tight. You can see he's been shedding his skin. He is pushing 9 feet in length. He is a good-sized snake. Very powerful snake, a snake that certainly will defend itself, and it does so with extremely, extremely toxic venom. King cobras. Awesome, awesome serpent. Look at that.
And just holding this king cobra was a thrill I'll never forget. Okay, let's see. Dragons, king cobras, something else extreme? How about a herd of very wild elephants I found in the jungles of Borneo? You see, researcher Bert Dowsep and I had been tracking this herd the entire morning, but we had no idea we would even see the elephants, let alone be able to get close to them. As it turned out, we got too close.
We are surrounded by elephants. Look, watch. Look at this. It's amazing to me that an animal so gigantic can move so quickly through this brush and so agile. These very intelligent creatures are using their extremely loud vocalization. You know, they're trumpeting to establish territory. So they want us to know that they know that we are here. It's the warnings. It's a guy with a twisted sense of humor.
Now, this was just a group of adolescents. They're out there, off on their own, teenagers, if you will, out looking for a little trouble. You know what they found? They found us.
Hey.
How'd you like that little charge? Where'd you go?
You see, Bert and I thought we found a path that took us away from the elephants, but in fact, the trail went right back to the main herd where the babies were. Here, you'll see what I mean.
It's 5 o'clock. Rush hour traffic.
We've got a lot of noise here because we've got adults with babies. They're in a defensive line and they're very angry. At this point, we are in danger.
You have to hold your ground. If they sense any fear, they're going to use that to their advantage, okay? We just hold our ground. What you do privately in your underpants is your business. Just don't run away. You watch this one right here. Ha. Careful, careful. Well, like I said, hold your ground, but be ready to run if you have to.
At this point, it's definitely time to make a hasty retreat. Bert and I find a narrow escape route just in time.
So did you like that? If you do, don't run. That was great. Don't go away, because we're coming back with some more cool critters. For example, check this guy out. Puffer, one of the largest toads in captivity. I'm living in my house, right up there.
And more giant things. Giant snakes.
Where's your head? Where's your head? There's your head.
Giant bats. And one huge wild frog.
You shall see me on South Beach.
Then later, some of the weirdest creatures you have ever seen on Extreme Encounters.
Welcome back. Actually, guys, I'm working. Even though it's summertime and I'm at home, I got the ocean beckoning me to go fishing. I got raspberries eking me to be plucked. I got work to do. I'm prepping for my next big adventure. And speaking of big, check this guy out. It's an albino Burmese python. In the wild, you'd never see one this color. You might see one this size, though. I use this guy for lectures on natural history, okay, to teach people about snakes. But in the wild, I've seen snakes like this. This guy's 10 feet, but I've seen them twice this size. All sorts of big creatures out there. If you want to see some more, check this out.
Here are some of the biggest creatures I found. Thailand is filled with big animals, both elephants and cats. But what I wanted to find was a member of the longest species of serpents on the planet. Only we didn't exactly meet on neutral ground. You see, I had to go to him. Now, if you've never seen or smelled an Asian rice paddy, you may not be familiar with what they commonly use as fertilizer. But one whiff, and there's no doubt that this paddy was filled with the most basic fertilizer known to man.
Did you see that? Underneath this blanket of water hyacinth is a very large reptile that I want to grab before it grabs me.
Only joking.
Where are you, Mr. Snake? I have to watch the head, because this snake can deliver a very potent bite. Where the heck is your head?
Can you tell this is starting to freak me out? Well, it is.
Where's your head? 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 There's your head. This is a reticulated python. It is the longest snake in the world. Not this individual, but the species. There are records of this animal reaching well over 30 feet in length. This individual, oh, it's tight. This individual is probably, about 10 feet in length. And what he's showing us is his mode of both defense and taking down his prey. He is a constrictor. He is an animal that squeezes the breath and life out of the creatures it's going to eat. If you look at the lower gashes along its lip, you can see that this snake is equipped with heat-sensing devices, thermal receptor sites that it uses to detect warm-blooded prey. And it'll reach out and strike, grab onto the prey, and then once it's secured the prey, it wraps around it and swallows it whole. I want to see something interesting. If you look at my hand, you can see it's turning purple. And as he pulls his body back, he's giving me a nice shoulder separation. So perhaps this is a good time to let this reticulated python go and say thanks to this great reptile for providing us one great wildlife experience here in Thailand. Watch us.
There are giants all over the jungles of Borneo, including this big black arachnid.
Oh my gosh.
I wish there was something called feel-o-vision and you could sense what it's like to have this scorpion prickle its way up your arm. He's huge, and he is freaky. Oh, man. And look at the size of those claws and that stinger. Scorpions belong to the group of invertebrates we call arachnids. He's got two body segments, okay? The one in the front with the claws, and the one in the back where the stinger is. Very close relative of the spiders. These guys are excellent hunters, fantastic hunters. He's got his claws, which he uses to hold his prey and to kill his prey. He's got that very poisonous stinger. I've worked with a lot of scorpions, and this is the biggest one I've ever seen in the wild. He is huge. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna let him go. I've had enough. He's creeping me out. So let me find a good place to put him before he crawls up in my shirt. There we go.
Look at the size of this bug. It's huge. Probably the origin of many a nightmare. Here's another creature that gives people nightmares. Bats. Giant bats. I've studied bats all over the world, and these are absolutely the biggest flying mammals I have ever seen.
There's all these bugs flying around. I mean, it feels like my skin is crawling with them. I can see them everywhere, these bugs.
Hey,
I kid.
because I love.
I love bats. Isn't this cool? I love bats, and this is one of my favorites. A gigantic bat, the world's largest species of bat, the Malayan fruit-eating bat. And he's very different than the bats that I've studied in Central and South America because this bat has excellent vision and uses his vision and his wonderful sense of smell to find his food. And in the case of this species, it's fruit. Now, you're wondering, how the heck did Jeff Corwin just walk in the woods and grab a wild bat? Well, this isn't a truly wild bat. This is a rehabilitated bat that now lives a life in captivity. But I wanted to show him to you because it's just extraordinary to see this creature with, look at this, with a wingspan of up to 5 feet plus hanging from my hands, and to think that it is a flying mammal, a bat. You don't have to be a bat mother to just find this creature adorable. In fact, its muzzle is very canine-like, hence the name flying fox. It's a common term for them. But keep in mind, this is an animal that shares no commonality, no relationship to canines. This creature is pure bat, despite the puppy dog complexion it sports.
Now that you've seen one of these creatures up close, try to imagine a forest filled with these giant bats.
Scattered throughout this dense thicket of mangrove are hundreds and hundreds of Malayan fruit bats. I mean, the sounds that are coming, the chirps and the shrills are just overpowering my ears right now. Look at the wingspan of these animals. I mean, some of these individuals have nearly a 6-foot wingspan. And they just fly beautifully. These guys can go up to 40 miles in a single night to forage for food. These guys are fruit eaters, and they'll hang out here during the daytime hours, and at night, okay, these animals then detach from the branches, open their wings, and take flight and head off, sometimes many miles, in search of food. ¿Dónde?
As long as we're talking about big creatures, let's check out an amphibian that's not only big in size, but personality as well. Now, he kind of reminds me of a well-known European actor. Here, check out my really good accent.
Grande.
Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay.
And look at my legs. Oh, God, that can't be good. 3 feet of bat crap. But look at the size of this frog. Look at this. He's like, remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied. Listen, kids. That's his defense right there. He's like, look at that. He's got pectoral muscles. I mean, he could pop a cap off a soda bottle. And look at those arms.
You should see me on South Beach. The ladies love this.
See those spines in his chest? That means it's mating season. And his muscular appearance helps him more effectively mount the females. And those spines, well, they help him hold on.
Listen here, I'm speaking to you. You're really getting on my nerves. I'm gonna put your head in my arms and I'm just gonna pop your eyes out like that.
Cool frogs. Leptodactylus pentadactylus, very surreal, very exciting experience. I never seen one this big. He's been eating bats, he's been eating fish. Woo. I'm off to give Zeke, my alligator snapping turtle, a bath, but don't you go away because we'll be right back with more extreme encounters. All right, come on.
Pint-sized creatures mean big excitement. I'll show you the smallest animals I've seen during my travels.
Those ears are like satellite dishes.
Then later,
Hey, should I have a stick?
some experiences I'll never forget.
All right, here we are in my bedroom. Here's someone I want you to see. Come on, honey. This is my teacup. Isn't she the most precious thing? Teacup is a fennec fox, one of the smallest species of canine in the world. Now, she's cute, but she's tough. She likes my wife, she likes me, she gets along with the cats. Everyone else, she attacks. She's a wild animal. And in order to have one in captivity, you have to have a legitimate reason, and I have permits, and I use her for lectures and education, but we love her. We call her Teacup because when she was a baby, even though now she looks tiny, she's only 3 pounds, when she was a baby, she could fit in a teacup, hence the name. And she's a reminder that great things come in little packages. Don't you? I love my teacup. Love you, Daddy.
Big encounters with tiny creatures. My search for some of the smallest creatures ran into a bit of a snag in Thailand. You see, the water was running high, and I had to help my 5-foot-tall guide across the river. You saw the largest bat in Indonesia? Now I want to show you the world's smallest bat.
I have to be so careful because in my hands, or soon to be in my hands, there you go, is a very fragile, fragile mammal. I'm gonna come to you, you stay right there. 'Cause I have just netted the smallest flying mammal on planet. On my planet Earth. Oh, look at this. Isn't this cool? It is the Kitti's hognose bat. And from one tip of its wing to the other, it is only about 4 inches wingspan. It's only a couple of inches from the tip of its nose to the tip of its tail, and it weighs but 2.5 to 3 grams. A tiny, delicate creature. You can see those ears. Those ears are like satellite dishes. Those are the tools this animal uses to receive the sound that it screams out into the night sky. And those ears are why we have not been able to capture this bat. This is why I had to set up that mist net. Originally, I was bouncing around this cave like a drunken ballerina. Some scientists believe that they use that sound wave to create an image of their environment. So with sound, he's almost seeing me, what he perceives as the potential predator.
Hey, I wonder how long it would take for that tiny bat to fly all the ways to Madagascar. In this scene, the role of the predator was played by me, Jeff Corwin. The role of the smallest chameleon in the world was played by, well, the smallest chameleon in the world.
Don't worry. Look at this. Check it out. What a fantastic creature. I feel like I'm looking at a Muppet, some sort of puppet created by a human being, but in fact, this is a live, breathing chameleon, and it is the smallest species of chameleon in the world. This is Brookesia minima. typical place you're going to find this lizard, no more than 2 or 3 feet above the forest floor. They like to stay low to the leaf litter. He's not a fantastic climber. His body is much bigger than his limbs are. They are just twig-like, absolutely twig-like. Just a precious thing.
For being such a big island, Madagascar sure has a lot of small animals. One of the smallest nocturnal primates in the world lives right here.
Oh my gosh, look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh. It is a primate, folks. It's a lemur. This is the brown mouse lemur. See, he wants to be protected inside a hole. He's a cavity dweller. In the daytime hours, this is how you find him, in a hole. So he's taken the palm of my hand as security, as safety. Human beings, we have a distant genetic lineage to animals like this. When you look at this creature and you see those little fingers, you see those eyes looking at you inquisitively, curiously, perhaps wondering what is going to happen to it, you can't help to feel compassion for this creature. And what does the future hold for such a wonderful thing like this, as well as the other animals that have evolved so magnificently, so bizarrely, so wonderfully in this island called Madagascar? Really fragile.
We found that huge muscle-bound frog in Panama. Well, I also found one of the smallest there too. The tiny, beautiful, but very toxic poison dart frog.
I've never had a tougher time trying to catch a frog in my life. It's pretty tough. This is one of the smallest species of dendrobates, or poison arrow frogs, or poison dart frogs living in the Americas. Teeny tiny. But they have an excellent defense, which is they manufacture a deadly toxin in their skin. And when eaten, or when entered into the bloodstream of a predator, the animal usually dies. But there's something else that's amazing. This is the male, and what he's doing is he's transporting his tadpoles on his back. Just look at that. Its back is bubbling, bubbling with life, bubbling with the new generation of poison dart frogs. And with some species, they will take those little tadpoles after they hatch, they move them onto their backs, and then they'll transport them to good locations for them to grow up. For example, the funnel of a bromeliad. Wonderful encounter. A tiny encounter, but something to remember. The poison dart frog. Take a look.
How you doing, honey? Coming up next, we're gonna meet Nikki's distant cousins. Yikes.
Boy, he's got a lot of guts to grab a tiger by the tail.
Then later,
But what's amazing about this thing is the way it looks.
the strangest bunch of creatures you may ever see.
Is that it, honey? You all done? Oh, Nikki, be nice. You freshy. That's Nikki. Hey, stop that, sweetheart. You're used to this stuff. That's Nikki, one of 3 of our pet cats. This precious baby right here is certainly not a pet. It's a wild animal. It's a 3-week-old Siberian tiger cub. I'm just babysitting. It belongs to a zoo up north, and we're just helping to rear this baby up, and cat's gonna be trouble, and here comes trouble. Oh, no, no, leave Nikki alone. Stop that. Nikki. This is a serval. This is nothing but trouble. Loves to play. Another wildcat. Another guy we're just taking care of in our house. And you'd be nice. And that's what's great about our world. Stop it! Is that it's filled with wonderful cats.
And cats have provided me with many of my most memorable encounters. In Thailand, I did an interpretation of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Jeff. Okay, I didn't hide, but I was a little nervous at first. This place was one of those hidden treasures you aren't going to find in the Thailand tour books. It's a Buddhist monastery which doubles as a tiger haven. So here are a bunch of guys in robes and sandals running around playing with tigers. It was incredible.
Excuse me, I've got a question. This isn't like Gladiator, is it? It's some kind of having the feel and, you know. Hi. Hey, you guys. Hey, wait a minute. Hi. Hey, should I have a stick? Yeah. I should? Thanks. I'm getting a little nervous there. Boy, he's got a lot of guts to grab a tiger by the tail. Yeah. Look at that guy over there. Do you have a high turnover rate here?
Yeah.
Do you have a high turnover rate?
Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Whoops. Oh. Uh-oh. See, they're just one big happy family here. It's a big family, right? Big family. Yeah, big family, except in this family, if you get a licking from your brother, you lose your arm. Yeah.
These tigers, freed from inhumane captivity or orphaned by poachers, are unable to live in the wild, and they will spend the rest of their lives here at the monastery. Well, playtime is over. It's time to head back to the main building where the tigers sleep and are fed. I asked the monks how they are so comfortable around such a powerful, even dangerous predator. They told me that the tigers trust them, so they in turn trust the tigers. I tell you what, I didn't trust this tiger as much as the monk did, and that cow, well, he didn't trust it either.
Oh, yes.
But I have to tell you that this was an amazing afternoon, easily one of my most memorable experiences. Whether in Thailand or Namibia, big cats are some of the most awe-inspiring animals on the planet. At first, these guys were a little hard to spot. Get it? Spot. Come on, it's a cheetah joke.
Look at this. Let your eyes just scan this landscape quickly. Sort of out of focused a bit, and you don't see anything. But buried within this horizon of grass are very powerful, amazing carnivores. And there's more than one. We have a few of them. They are cheetahs. And I think what's great about this is they wonderfully illustrate how these creatures can almost magically disappear into their habitat. Very stealth-like because they have beautiful camouflage. The camouflage is perfect. These creatures have black spots all over their bodies. The black spots break up shape, okay, and uniformity. Sort of adds a little chaos to their definition as an individual animal. They are built for speed. Their heads lie low to the ground. Their backs are slightly arched. Their feet stretch out like that, like running shoes, and then they take off at speeds of up to 60 miles an hour and take down the prey. I'm trying to think of an analogy for you of what cheetahs... Ha, 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 ha. Back off, buddy. Back off. I don't play this game, you know what I'm saying?
You wouldn't think that you'd keep a cheetah at bay by clapping your hands, but as you see, it works.
Don't go away, because when we come back, things are really gonna get weird. Like this weird lizard. It's a bearded dragon from Australia. Good eye.
We're looking at one of the most mysterious of all lemurs. It's the eye.
Plus more of the strangest creatures on the planet. And later, the animals take their shot at me.
Boy, this guy's got a lot of nerve. Oh. Stop it!
This guy is from Madagascar, these veiled chameleons. And in Madagascar, as well as in many other places in the world, there are creatures just as strange as this.
We'll get to Madagascar in a minute, but first, let's stop in Ecuador because I want to show you one of the weirdest creatures you will ever see.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at this cricket. It's got these huge antennae, and they're just whipping about its head, and it's feeling its way. It's a female. You can see it's got that long shaft coming off the aft end of its abdomen. That's the ovipositor. That's where it lays its eggs. But what's amazing about this thing is the way it looks. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I should be like in Men in Black or something like this. It's like an alien. It's like...
Pretty weird, huh? But for my money, Madagascar has the strangest animals on the planet.
We're looking at one of the most mysterious of all lemurs. It's the eye. Have you ever seen a more alien, a more strange-looking creature than this? I have always wanted to see an eye-eye. I would love to see one in the wild, but they're nocturnal. They spend much of their lives up in the canopy, extremely hard to find, very secretive, very reclusive. See what he's doing? He's using his incisors. He's just sculpted a hole inside the egg, and now he's using his finger to dig it out. A very, very unusual creature.
There are 65 species of chameleon on the island of Madagascar, each one stranger than the one before it.
Look at this, look at this, look at this. Come here. Woo! Whoa.
This is Furcifer pardalis, or the panther chameleon. Not only is this one of the largest of the chameleons in Madagascar, but he makes himself even larger. He's feeling a little threatened. He doesn't know what to make of us. He wants us to think that he's big and he's bad. And he does that by puffing up with air, by extending his chin like a pouch, displaying those bright, bright colors. He's larger than life. He looks fierce. Hopefully, he looks too big to tangle with. And that's what he's doing right now.
I told you, Madagascar has the strangest creatures.
Just let your eyes scan across this bundle of leaves. And what you'll discover is that one of these leaves is not like the others. This is a katydid, a grasshopper-type creature, an herbivore. He is so leaf-like that he actually has the venation of a leaf. If you look very closely, you can see the central vein going down the middle with all the smaller little veins radiating off of that. Perhaps you might look and say, he's got some sort of disease or he's sick. But what it is demonstrating is how amazing evolution is. He's not diseased. He's a very healthy insect. But his skin or his exoskeleton is crunched up. It looks dried. It's frayed as if it were a dying leaf. And that way, there's no doubt in the eyes and mind of the predator, of that chameleon or that insect-eating little lemur, that this creature is nothing but a leaf. See, what do you see there that you want to eat? See, he's eating me. I'm not a plant. I know I taste very good, but you're an herbivore, my friend. What is your problem, huh? Since I'm not looking for a manicure, let's put this little critter back there.
This island brought out the best in me.
Oh, man, these allergies. So, I was saying, what? Oh, I'm sorry. It's a flatworm. It's a creature. Looks like a booger, but it's a worm. It's a living thing. Something that's neat about these creatures is that they can produce both sexually. You can have two flatworms come together and, well, you know the rest. Or they can produce asexually. And how does that happen? Well, if you cut this guy down the middle, okay, right down the center like that, or a nice, good, even piece, you wouldn't kill this guy. You might wound him, but both separate pieces then would regenerate alternative body parts and create two separate individuals, which is kind of neat. Flatworms, or sneeze worms. Okay, so coming up next, it's the animals that nail the naturalist. Now, not this guy. He's Iggy, blue-tongued skink, good buddy of mine. But some reptiles, they got attitude.
When it feels threatened, he'll coil up. Oh!
Looks like you're exfoliating there, buddy. Well, you look good. Beautiful guy, huh? This is a Siamese crocodile, and it's a moment like this where I just take stock of the beautiful day. Look at this. The sun's out, it's 80 degrees, there's low humidity, the crocodile's happy, Jeff Corwin's happy. But you know what? It's not always that way. You'll see what I mean. Hey, don't I get any respect, even in my own home? Close that mouth. No! You can't hurt me, I'm a herpetologist, no! What is it that you need? You're needy. The cactus stung my eye. I smelled the wrong flower. I
I've earned some scars from this encounter. You keep your distance. It's kind of nice. Stop that. I'm a married man, please. I am very happy to have had a chance to see this animal, ouch, up close.
A jumping choya just attacked me. And I mean, it really got me good. I'm not just like doing a cactus demo here. That thing is all the ways in and I can feel it. It's really messing with me, man, and I'm afraid to take it out.
What kind of con are you? Oh. He is right above my head. And he is not only right above my head, he has just peed on my head. It doesn't get any better than that. Oh, stronger than I thought. I was gonna say, this is a useless claw, but there's some strength there. Ow! It not only looks just like a viper, but it even behaves like one too when it feels threatened. When it feels threatened, he'll coil up. Oh! And they specialize in the conservation of raptors. Boy, this guy's got a lot of nerve. Oh. Stop it! It's some sort of bone. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, so how about we just leave? Look at the way they hop like that. Look at that bang. It's wonderful to see this pristine habitat. You got the rumble of that waterfall behind us. But even though Boy, that just brings it home, huh? From the looks of it, it appears that she's wrapping things up here. Yep. Yep. I think she's done, and I'm done too. Cooey, just thinking about that moment, man, I was eating sand for months. In fact, I still think I have a few sand granules tucked in places I would rather not discuss. But it was all worth it. To see her excavate that nest, lay those eggs, I don't think I could have ended our Borneo adventure any better. Unfortunately, this adventure, this Jeff Corwin Extreme Encounters, has come to an end. I hope you had a great time. I'm gonna end on a good note by showing you my most favorite snake. I've had this guy since I was a kid. It's beautiful. It's a Western hognose snake. But time's over. We're gonna take a nap. We need to rest, beautiful summer sun. So I look forward to seeing you on our next Jeff Corwin experience. Meanwhile, I'm going to bed. All right, buddy, no fidgeting. Stop it.